Happy morning, one and all present here. Myself, Menaka. I'm from TIPS Salem main campus, and I have been into TIPS for the past 8 years. I'm stepping into ninth year this Jan, and it's been a pleasure to work in TIPS and with the younger kids, where I work with grade one. Most of the year, I have been with grade one and two. So the curiosity in the children lead my inquiry in an effective way. So by this, my topic for the session is co-constructing success criteria. I hope, and I know many of them are using success criteria in your inquiry classes, but still, I hope I would be giving you some input on that. So can we move further? Give a thumbs up if you're okay with it. Okay, let's begin. Our session objective is to understand the purpose of co-constructing success criteria with students. What do you mean by co-constructing success criteria? We'll understand what is co-constructing first, and then we'll understand the purpose of co-constructing success criteria, and then apply the model and compass strategy to help students identify the quality work. What is model and compass strategy? And then convert that observation into our effective success criteria. uh, Teachers, can I have your inputs in the chat? Like, what do you mean by learning goals and what do you mean by success criteria? What is your understanding about learning goals and what is success criteria? I repeat, my question is, what is learning goals and what is success criteria? Learning goals is the purpose. Learning goals, planning to achieve. Success criteria is the reflection. Okay. Learning goal, outcome to be achieved at the end of the lesson. Yes, success criteria is we are learners, we're able to take action by their own. Okay. Learning goal is objective, success criteria is outcome. Learning goal is the destination, and success criteria is the way to reach success. There, yes. Learning outcome and action to achieve. Okay. Teachers, can I reframe my question today? Like, our topic is co-constructing success criteria. So what is a learning goal and what would be a success criteria? I gave you the session objective, right? So what do you feel? Is the session objective is the learning goal or the success criteria? Session objective is the learning goal, because the learning goal is nothing but that specifies the learning that is intended for the lesson, right? So our session objective is to understand the purpose of co-constructing success criteria with the children by applying the model and compass strategy, right? So that would be our learning goal. So learning goal is nothing but the learning that is intended for the lesson. Success criteria is how students can demonstrate that particular learning. Yes, like success criteria should refer to concrete learning. For example, we use the verbs like I can explain, I can describe, I can model, I can write, I can justify. All those verbs which we use is for success criteria. In order for learning goal, we use the verbs like I know, I develop, I became, I am fluent, I can understand. All those words we use it for our learning goal. So like when we plan our lesson, usually when we plan our lesson, we use a KUS document, right? that time when you're planning your learning goal, at that time itself, we can create our success criteria from our end. From the teacher's end, when we create our KUS document, we create our learning goals for the particular topic. That particular time itself, we can create our success criteria, and we can have that in a hand when we want to discuss with the children, so that if you create a success criteria, you will be able to understand whether your learning goal, the learning goal which you decided, will it reach that particular success criteria. Will my children be able to understand what I have meant, like for the topic, the learning goal which I have created. So when you create that during your KS document, it will be very useful for you, easy for you, instead of creating it separately. Once you create your learning goal, completed, you're doing your task, and after completing your learning experiences, you're coming back for your assessments. So when you come back for your assessments, at that particular time, if you create the success criteria, it will be difficult for you whether your children is able to attain that particular learning goal or not. You will not be able to be very confident with that. So when you use your KUS document, at that particular time itself, if we create a success criteria, it will be very useful. So what do you notice in this particular picture? It's a picture that I want you to write a sentence regarding this picture. What do you notice in that particular picture? Please put that in the chat. I want you to frame one particular sentence looking at the picture. The cat on mat. Okay. Cat lying on mat looking forward food. A cat lying on the mat. Okay. Cat's comfort place. A cat is resting on a cozy carpet. I can see a cat waiting for food. Okay, cat lying on a mat. I can see a cat. Okay, cat is lying on bed before a closed door. Cat on the mat. A cat on a mat. Uh, my question was, describe the picture. Describe the picture. So most of you have written cat on a mat, cat lying on a mat, cat free cat. Okay. My next instruction is describe this picture precisely using your adjectives. Participants, please be unmute. Cat is waiting for someone at the doorstep. Okay. I notice a calm orange cat resting on a mat. Yeah. Where is that? I notice a calm orange cat resting on a mat near a wooden floor. Wow. Well done. A, a sleepy orange cat is lying on a mat. On the mat. Yeah. A fluffy cat on rest. Orange cat is resting on the mat. Okay, my pet is calm sitting on a mat. So this is how, when you ask your children to do, like when you provoke your children initially, when you give them the picture and ask them to write a sentence, this is how it look like. Children will not know what is the desired outcome from the teacher, right? So the hungry cat waiting for his carrying master to provide the food near road door. Yeah. Uh, so when you provoke the children during your prior knowledge or provocation, we usually do give the pictures or any prompts. Without giving any prompts, if we give a picture, children would be responding as we responded now, right? First, we said cat on a mat, and then later on, when I said the word use descriptive adjectives, then you started using the descriptive adjectives on the for the picture, right? Instead, if we give the picture, and if we give the children the sentences which we expect from them, directly you can give the sentence, or you can give 3 or 4 sentences with strong and weak examples, and ask them to read the sentence and get the discussion with them, like looking at the sentence, which sentence is more suitable, or what are the things is there in each of the sentences. For example, the cat sat on the mat near the door. The fluffy orange cat sat lazily on a soft mat near the wooden door. So if you show these three sentences, for example, the children would come up with each sentence. They would be giving which sentence would be more meaningful for the picture. They will say for each, the cat sat, they can say that the sentence is very simple, the cat sat. If they come across the third sentence, there are many adjectives which have been used which describes the picture very well. Without even looking at the picture, when they read the sentence, they could able to imagine the particular cat which is in orange color sitting lazily near the door on a soft mat. So this is how the success criteria should be. When you give them the exemplar and ask them to frame sentences, and they should be able to say that what are the things should be there in my sentences. So when they come to know about what should be there in their own sentences, they'll write a sentence in a better way, right? So co-constructing success criteria using a four-step method. So first, I want you to tell me, what do you mean by co-constructing with the children? Will the children write the success criteria by their own, or it is like we are giving the learning goals and we didn't even create any of the success criteria, and we are asking them to create the success criteria on their own? Co-construction means what do you understand by the term co-construction? Co-create. Creating with the guidance, the curious, okay, with the guidance, creating with children, teacher and students together discuss and decide along with the students, creating the learner together, framing up the success criteria along. Okay, creating along with the children. Uh, can I have someone to explain what do you mean by creating along with the students?
Involving students.
Involving students. Okay. Co-constructing success criteria means teacher and student work together using clear steps to define what successful learning look like. Yeah, what successful learning look like. Yes, like usually the term co-construction may mislead that students are actually creating it from the scratch. Yes, it's not like the students are creating on their own. It's like teacher and student develop the success criteria together for the particular assignment. Whatever we are assigning for them, they are creating along with us. Like for example, as I said, when I give them the three exemplar, they were working along with us to find out what best suits the particular picture. So from that, they can start writing their success criteria. It is like co-construction is like understanding of the criteria. It's not like creating a criteria. Students are going to understand what is success criteria along with us. They are not going to create something new. We are not asking them to create on their own. Yes. So why do we need success criteria? Why do we need to have co-constructing with the children? Why do you want to do that with the children? Because when children are very capable of learning, like they know what they want to learn, this is my learning goal, this is my learning intention, and I need to attain this learning goal. When I want to attain this learning goal, I need to have all these criterias to attain my learning goal. If they know what needs to be done in a step-by-step way, they'll be very clear with their learning goal, and their outcome, their assignment or the assessment which we are giving would be more meaningful for them, right? So it engage the students successfully in peer feedback and self-assessment. Yes, to collaborate with students for creative works. Yes, students will be aware of what needs to be done to achieve the goal. Yes, supports reflection and self-assessment. Yes, so it also internalize the information, what they want to have in their particular assignment. They'll know what has to be there. They will not move away from the particular learning goal. They'll be in the learning goal itself. It actually provide more meaningful way for their learning, and they'll be more confident in presenting their work. This is what I have to attain, and I have attained all these uh, learning goals through these steps. And then actually it improves the instructional planning. It's nothing but it in instructional planning as the skills that the children are acquiring from the learning goals. For example, the children would be knowing, like, when they study the criteria together with us, the teacher will get better at what skill the children are very confident at, and what skill they need to be working on the particular learning goal. So we need to co-construct success criteria with the children. They should know what it means to attain the particular learning goal. And so to attain to co-construct the success criteria, first we have 4 steps. First, identify the learning intention. Learning intention is nothing but our learning goal that we decided for the particular unit. So first we should identify the learning intention, and then after identifying the learning intention, we should show some samples, exemplars, that is model and exemplar. We can give the exemplar in writing. We can create our own exemplar and show them that this your work should be in this way, or we can have the students work which have been done already past years, or your students work which is a strong one, weak one. You can have 3 different samples for them to analyze which would work better for them, which would be better for that particular assignment, what are the things should be there for their particular assignment. Then once they observe their samples, they have to convert their observation into the criteria. So when they observe, I'll show you. When they observe their samples, they'll be knowing these are the things should be there in my assignment. So they should convert that observation into criteria, and then they have to build a checklist or anchor chart. For example, first step is identifying learning intention. So identifying learning intention is nothing but making it visible and student friendly. Your learning goal should be very visible. When before we start off the assignment, it's like a topic. As ISP says, our learning goal should be visible explicitly in the board. So we should be showing them the learning goals explicitly, and it should be in a way that student understands. So for example, for in UI or social studies, if our learning intention would be, we are learning to understand how community helpers help our community. So our learning goal is to learn about community helpers and how they help the community. So that is our learning intention. So that is our learning goal. With this learning goal, uh, we should show them the some exemplars. So from the exemplars, they should be able to create the success criteria for different subjects. For example, if it is math, we are learning to explain our strategies for solving problems. When you give a real world problems to the children, when you give the real world problems to the children, first step, what I should do, they should know the step by step process when I get a problem. So they should be, first I should be able to understand I should be able to read the real world problem. I should be able to understand what operation is being done in the real world problem. I should be knowing step by step instruction which has to be done for the doing the operation. I should solve the problem and I should check my answer. So I should have all these criterias in my mind to solve the particular problem. For languages, we are learning to write a clear description of a character. These are the learning intentions I'm speaking about. For science, we are learning to show how variables affect results. For art, for all kinds of subjects like PE, art, for other subjects also, you can have your learning intention explicitly seen to the children, so that from that you can co-construct your success criteria. I'll take for example UI. We are learning to understand how community helpers help our community. So for this, can we create a success criteria? I'll give a minute time. Can we create a success criteria and post it in the chat? We are learning to understand how community helpers help our community. So for creating a success criteria, we can use I can statement. So use I can statement and create your success criteria. Example, your for creating a success criteria, you should have I can statement and you should have verbs. like explain, describe, model, share, write. All these words you can use to create your success criteria. I'll give you one example for it. I can name different community helpers. From my learning intention, I can learn different community helpers. I can name the different community helpers. I can able to identify the community helpers around me whom I see every day. Yes. I can explain how community helpers help us. I can name different community helpers. I can describe the work of them. I can draw a picture of community helper. I can identify the different community helpers. Yes. So all these are our success criteria from our learning intention. We have one learning intention. For that one learning intention, we have different success criteria. I can express gratitude and appreciation. I can identify different community helpers. I can list the responsibilities of each community helper. Yeah, all these are the success criteria which we co-construct. I can understand the role of community helpers. Yes. So I'll show my example for you. So model and compare is write and illustrate. Okay. I can name at least two community helpers. Yes. So this is the like model and compare is the second step where you write or illustrate how community helpers help our community. Yes, we will be showing some exemplars. It can be through the picture or it can be through a writing done by us or from the previous year students. So I am giving you three samples where it speaks about a community helper. First sample speaks about community helpers help our community in many ways. Doctors help us stay healthy by treating sick people. Police officer help keep us safe by maintaining rules. Sanitation workers keep our surrounding clean. They are important because they help everyone live happily and safely. This is my first sample. Second sample I'm giving to them is community helpers help people. Doctors and police help us. Just a single line. Help us is the third sample. So from this, children should analyze and find out what are the things should be needed to find out our learning intention. How community helpers help our community, which sample gives more information about the particular learning intention. So obviously, when the children talk about it, the first one would speak about different community helpers and function of different community helpers. And then they can speak about the importance of the community helpers. So from this, we have to co-construct our success criteria. Observing from the observation, we have to convert that into a success criteria. I will be successful if I can name at least one community helper, explain how community helpers help people, explain why helpers is important to the community, give clear details or examples, use complete and clear sentence. If I have all these things, my learning intention would be achieved. This is my success criteria. So they would be co-constructing with us all these points. So once they co-construct the success criteria, they have to convert this into the build a checklist or anecdotes. So my anchor chart would be success criteria community helper. In that, my I can give this anchor chart. All these things should be visible to the children once you start up the lesson. The learning intention would be on the top where you have a board, and then once you co-create your success criteria, all the points which you have mentioned should be visible to the children when they are starting to work on their own piece of work. So here the anchor chart would be I named after completing, they should be checking out whether they have attained that particular success criteria or not. So I named a community helper. I explained how they help. I said what their work is, why their work is important. I gave an example. I used clear sentence. So we can use either anchor chart or checklist to find out the success criteria. Here I have created a checklist for describe your favorite park, and I have given them write 7 sentences, use adjectives. So as I'm teaching grade 1 learners, they are not much aware about the adjectives which they have to use explicitly. So I'll be giving more examples for them to understand, and they can make sentences with this color, shape, size, material, heavy or light, all these words. And at the end, each sentence should have punctuation. So all these 3 points should be there when I write my descriptive writing for grade 1 learners. So we can either use anchor charts or checklists. So why do you want to use model and compare strategy? Why Why? Because students understand the quality by seeing it. Instead of we speak about it, you should have all these things in your writing. Instead of we say it before our assessment, they would, if they see the exemplar and if they co-create the success criteria along with the teacher, they understand the quality by seeing it, and it encourages the self and peer assessment. Students participation is in setting expectation, like agency would be improved. uh, the co-constructing success criteria is always like it should be measurable and it should be observable. You should be able to measure that particular thing learning, and it should be observable. When you do this co-construction, what happens is it improves the agency in the children, metacognition skill would be improved, and they become assessment capable learners. So it builds assessment capability, not just as a task completion. They'll not take it as like, okay, I have been assigned this task and I should be completing this task. And it is easy for all the ages, and for all the subjects. If you use an exemplar for the children to understand what happens, not only from grade KG or grade 1 until grade 12, we can use exemplars to understand better, and they'll know what they have to attain at the end of their learning, and it connects naturally to the skills. That's why we recommend model and compare. So uh, one more thing what we can do in our classrooms is waggle wall. What that means, uh, what a good one looks like wall. It's a wall we can create in our own classrooms, where for each piece of work which we expect the children to have it, we can create a wall and we can give them the exemplars on the wall, which shows the collection of work samples usually inside the classrooms. And you can share this wall would be very useful for the children to evaluate their own work with the sample. Here, when we had a story creation activity, I showed them a storybook actually. The children, which it is a sample which I have took. So I showed them the sample with a picture and how they have to create a story. So they wrote a book review about the particular story, how it should be how the review should look like. So I showed them the sample. Afterwards, the children they created and then they shared their experience with the peers. And with the exemplar, the children were doing a much better work. When I asked them to just speak about the story which you like, it was only 2 sentences. They didn't speak much about it. Why I like it? I like the character, which was very helpful. It was a sentence. But when they were speaking about, like when I showed them the review, if you speak about the book review, you should speak about the main character and what was the most thing which impacted you. All those points when we discussed, it was very good one. And next, you can also have a success criteria in your worksheets. For example, when you have a descriptive writing or in your assessments, wherever you can have a question along with that. Speak to the children and create your success criteria, where you can mention your success criteria here. Your use present tense, start with character details, include only important events, use third person narrative, use phrases and clauses. Write a synopsis of any fairy tale of your choice. That is my learning goal. My success criteria is this one. Along with the children, if we create it and if we put it visible to them, when they write their own piece of work, it will be very useful for them. And it is also like we can also use must have and an amazing to have in our worksheets or in assessment sheets, where must have is you should have always, like when you write a piece of writing, you should have all these things compulsorily when you write something. But amazing to have is like something to have something add on which will grab attention to the reader. So we can also have this must have and amazing to have in our worksheets or in our assessments. Am I clear or am I making sense to you? Mm. Okay. What did you notice when converting students' observation into criteria? How will this strategy support learners' agency in your class? Where can you apply this next week? Next week means after New Year when you come back to your class. Where can you use this strategy? Can I have the reflection in the chat, please?